So we're just getting ready to start another early March hike. Back in the snow again. This will be the Marine Corps edition of Epic Outdoors.
Yay, hazing.
Well, we're going to stack another 0.7 on top of our hike today due to the snow conditions. Got my car parked right here. The road wasn't bad coming in. That's the road that we would have had to go up to go the last 0.7 to the regular trail parking lot, but they got a little sub parking lot down here, and so
Join the party.
yep, just so we don't have to risk putting chains on or getting stuck in a place that we don't want to be. We don't want to ruin the hike. Here we go. Well, we're still on our road walk. We maybe made it, oh, what do you say, 0.3 maybe?
Yeah.
And we've already hit a waterfall. So hopefully we can expect more scenery like this. If you go in the off season, guys, there's a lot of things to see. Everything changes out here. You know, you could hike some of your favorite trails out here, and then they're totally different trails when you hit the late spring and early summer season. So yeah, already good views. And here we are, coming up on Baker Lake Trailhead. Looks like this is the official parking lot. Don't know what the trail conditions are going to be like yet, but if the road is any indication, I dare say we may be walking through some snow. Yeah. I don't know how many actual campers we're going to meet out here, but as usual, guys, I've got my hammock, and Maverick here has got his hammock, so we'll be able to get up off the ground.
Yeah, not worried about this nonsense.
Yeah, that is nonsense.
Jeep for being up here.
Yeah, that looks like it's the first time that's been out of the garage.
Wow.
Well, there's the official trailhead, and there's the trail, and as we suspected, it's
Perfect
covered.
conditions.
Oh yeah, perfect conditions.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
We just brought a sled.
Right. We can just go glissading down this first hill. So, adventure time. Well, it's definitely a winter wonderland out here right now, guys. We are planning on making it about 6.5 miles in. I think we're headed to Maple Grove Camp. You guys will remember from the last hike that I was on, we had intended to make it about 6 miles in and get to a horse camp that was that far distance on the trail, but we ended up stopping at Nev Campground, and we found ourselves a little spot by the river, me and my buddy Richard, and we stayed there for the night, and you know, just made it a short one. We're not sinking as deeply into the snow here, so it's easier to walk on top, so we should be able to make some miles. And we appear to have found a lonely pair of sunglasses. Along my adventures, I found many lonely things: lonely socks, lonely mittens, an ominous lonely can of bear spray. It is either that or this person melted with the snow. Coming up on finishing our first mile, probably about a mile in, and the scenery is still gorgeous, but we're definitely going back and forth between places where we got snow and places where we can actually see the trail. It's definitely not as bad as what we were doing before. We should be able to make our miles, no problem. We got a pretty good early start today, and we actually can travel a lot faster. Me and Richard were going into snow up to our hip at places on the last trail, so this is not so bad. We got a couple places that the packed snow that's been melting and then refreezing has gotten a little slippery. We've had to be kind of careful on the edges of the ridgeline because in a lot of places it's a long way down. For the most part, though, the trail is not super high up. It's not doesn't have a lot of elevation gain, I should say. And, we're we're getting our first views out there in the distance of the lake. And hopefully some of these campgrounds will get close enough to the lake that we'll get a good view when we hang up our hammocks.
Pretty.
Well, we've come in here and we've come to probably the most beautiful spot I've seen on the trail so far. This is just a winter wonderland out here in places.
It really is.
And if any of you on this beautiful Saturday happen to be sitting in a cubicle right now, I have to say, neener.
But watch us in the cubicle.
Definitely,
at your
indeed,
office.
right. This is a safe
Something
for
you
work,
can do.
safe for work video.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully you don't get in trouble. And if you feel jealous right now, we very much would like to inspire you to come out and do your own hike.
Yeah.
Because this is gorgeous.
Ditch the cubicle. That's what I did.
Yeah, you did. I totally got him out of the cubicle.
Yeah.
Here we are coming up on Anderson Point. Looks like there's some campsites down there according to the sign. Yeah, you can see them down there. It's going to be a good spot for us to have a little break. Maybe have a snack. And that is our first great view of Mount Baker. That is spectacular. And here we are. Me and Maverick have made it to Maple Grove campsite. Lots of snow. I don't know if we're gonna find a clear spot, but that's the beauty of hammocks.
We'll find some.
But yeah, it's time for us to do camp chores and find our house for the night.
Yeah.
Oh man, now we've made it down to the actual camp, which is pretty fantastic. Wow, there's actually some other people out here winter camping. And that, look at that, there is a tent spot. A place clear from the snow. That is amazing. Oh, and look, another one over there.
Yeah.
Haven't seen a whole lot of people out winter camping, but I think this spot is pretty popular. It's gorgeous. We'll go down and get a view of the lake after we get our camp set up. Heck yeah. So we totally lucked out. We came down into this camp and it was covered in snow, and I was post-holing as I got down in here. I sunk down to the snow pretty deep. However, me and Maverick have found this kind of little oasis down here, where, as you can see, there's no snow on the ground. So I do have my hammock hung up over the snow over there, and he got the primo spot because that's just what you do. I'm a courteous epic.
I'm spoiled.
But, and you know, I don't have to worry about it because I don't even have to get in it until it's time to go to bed. But our campsite is actually clear of snow. So our ability to actually, you know, camp and hang out and have a place to sit and not have our feet constantly in the cold, cold snow is, we really lucked out with this campsite. We also got great weather today. The lake down there is looking awesome. We're going to go down there and explore it here in a little bit. But yeah, we've got our camp set up for the night. Now, we do have a chore that we got to get done, and he's got to help me with this. Our actual campsite table and fire pit is up here. And I know not all backpackers are into getting a fire going during camp, but I was a bushcrafter, amateur survivalist, you know, and did a lot of that kind of camping first, and I like a fire at night. So what we got to do is, that's the fire pit right there. So me and Maverick are going to have to...
Yeah, so my role is going to be what he's doing, holding the camera, and he's just going to be shoveling. We're going to find some sticks, some large ones, and he's just going to make probably a half-assed job. But I will step in to save the day because we got to survive here.
What would I do without him, right?
Yeah. I don't throw hero on a lot, but I might be a hero. I don't know.
This is what happens when you hike with a Marine, guys. By the way, this is Maverick. Obviously, he has a real name. His trail name is Maverick. He was a United States Marine.
Yeah.
And by was, I mean always a Marine, because you don't say was.
Yeah.
In any event, he's one of my absolute best friends. I've known him for over 17 years. He also works in the martial arts field with me, and
that too.
just recently, since the beginning of the year, we've actually started to go backpacking together. And you guys know how much I do this and how much I hike. So
yeah. The Marine Corps ruined hiking or going on a hump for probably a decade, and now I'm like, you know what, I'm ready, and here we are.
So he's getting to explore the recreation side. And by the way, he's doing it excellent, the way I would expect a Marine to do so.
Yeah, and we don't have to hang any sort of bags for the bears because we have this luxury right here.
That's right. We didn't expect this. We thought we were going to have to do a PCT bear hang when we came down here. And even though we had to hike in pretty decently to get to this camp, they actually have bear lockers down here. So it's going to be an easy night for that. As far as the fire pit is concerned, we're going to try to dig a path there, set up our own seats, and dig out all that snow from this, the fire pit so we can actually try to get a fire going. We are probably the only campers because there's a few more down here, surprisingly enough, that are down here. I don't expect too many of them to try a fire. Maybe they will.
There's probably like a good 2.5, 3 feet. So
yeah, especially up there in the bank.
I only dog paddle. So
only dog paddle. So we're gonna try to dig out that fire pit and see if we can collect some wood and get a campfire going. You guys have seen me do this in the snow before. You guys know I love a campfire. I think we're pretty much going to scrap the picnic table for what I would consider obvious reasons. Yeah. And just dig a path from the clear spot to the fire pit and make our own seating. So we'll keep you guys apprised on our success.
Yeah, we will succeed.
So we are in the failing light. We don't have that much longer to get a fire going. Camp chores took a little longer than we expected, so we are going to now go look for firewood and see if we can get this fire pit dug out and get a fire going. If we meet with success, then the next thing you will see on video is the embers of my glow. Well, me and Maverick tried a fire, and we almost had it going. But about 15 minutes of looking like it might catch, and then it just fizzled out. We didn't get it going. And you guys saw on my last trip that I actually got the fire going. It's hit and miss. No matter how much experience you have, no matter how much prep that you have, sometimes things just don't go according to plan. So we're down to headlamps and our hammocks and just sitting around camp. It doesn't always work the way you'd like it to work. So we're not going to get a fire tonight, and sometimes that's just the way it goes. But we're down there having a few snacks, and we actually brought in a little bit of liquor so we can have some of that liquor coat. And we're just enjoying sitting around camp using our headlamps. So despite the fact that it's the off months and the fact that we don't have a full-blown fire, we got our butt pads.
Yeah. Turn into pillows later.
Right, which turn into pillows later.
You
And
guys gotta get these things. They're like $15 on Amazon, and totally worth it.
yeah, I agree.
Very low maintenance and very comfortable. I mean, this is like
They're actually made by a company called Climate. They have this X pattern in the middle that makes it so that when you put some air into them and you put your head on them, the X pattern actually folds around your head.
don't go all the way up though.
Yeah, indeed. And honestly, the only inflatable pillow I've actually liked. But so we're just gonna sit here and sip on a little vodka and enjoy our evening with headlamps only. And then we will see you guys in the morning.
Later.
Well, we're just getting camp broken down here. We had a pretty good night. We couldn't get our fire started. We were doing things by headlamp. And then we saw some ambers coming from the beach, and some folks were kind enough to share their fire. We actually had a couple groups of campers out here, which is something I don't see often during the wintertime. But we got to go down there and have ourselves a little bit of time warming our hands and feet. Got down to below freezing last night, for sure, as indicated by our frozen boots and frozen socks.
And pants.
And pants. So we're going to get our hammocks broken down here. Have ourselves a little bacon and eggs for breakfast, pre-made, and then make the trek back to the car. Well, we're almost back to the trailhead here. Gonna make our way back to the car and go get ourselves some food and civilization. Thanks for joining us, me and Maverick, on our little snow adventure out and back at Baker Lake. And thanks for watching Epic Outdoors.